Changwon's day at Tabulli, Checheon begins with feeding the pigs in their hut. The pigs must have no idea how grand the landscape is that stretches out behind their home. Now that all the animals are fed, Sangwon goes on to have his own breakfast. His house is in Tabulli, the village with the highest altitude in Checheon. It's also the village that's closest to the four seasons of Lake Chungju. Among the villages that surround the lake, Tabulli is also known as the first village beneath the skies. Visitors to Tabulli first have to get to the end of the valley road that encircles the lake. There, they will find a small village of 9 people comprising 5 families. The village is busy harvesting peppers. Early in the morning, the villagers walk up the mountain in single file to get to the fields. Due to a long drought and heat wave, this year's harvest is not as good as that of the previous year. Nonetheless, everyone in the village has gathered to help with the work. The head of the village is the only male resident still able to complete the physically demanding task of harvesting the peppers. But he, too, has seen better days, now having come down with arthritis. But then again, a farmer can never neglect his crops just because he's not well. There are more important things than one's own pain. With the absence of rice paddies, which are traditionally worked by the women folk, it is the female residents of Tabulli who end up doing most of the work.
이제 어저께만 하루 쉬었어요. 아저씨가 이제 다리 아프다 그래가지고 병원 가느라고 어저께 하루 쉬고 저 옆에 따던 할머니도 허리가 아프시니까 오늘 또 하루 쉬고.
With so few people and so many peppers to pick, everyone needs a good day's rest from time to time.
지금은 이제 사람 사기가 힘드니까 어디든지 지금은 그래갖고 이제 동네 분들이 이제 손이 나시면 이렇게 해드려요. 이렇게 해주시고 서로 이제.
This village used to be quite crowded. That is, until the water levels rose.
그때만 해도 이제 27집이 살고 이럴 때는 이게 이제 동네가 다른 동네는 뭐 비슷비슷하니까 그렇게 저걸 안 해도 지금은 동네가 조그마한 뭐 몇 집 살질 않고 이러니까 지금 온 사람들이 뭐 반수 넘지 뭐 이제 그러니까 거의 한 반 되죠. 요 지금 있는 사람들.
Because of Tabulli's altitude, it took little damage from the flooding caused by the dam. But when the people of the lower villages left one by one, it ended up becoming one of the most remote areas. The village is so remote that it takes a car ride to get to the bus stop. No wonder the villagers are so close.
정신 갖고 가세요.
정신 뭐 집에서 먹지.
가세요.
At mealtime, everyone usually gathers at one person's house to eat. especially today, since everyone worked together to pick the peppers.
우리 삼촌이요. 아, 사촌형이세요? 네, 삼촌. 네, 삼촌.
이 할아버지 여서 나서 여서 이마치 늙었대. 81.
Sangwon's uncle is the oldest person in the village. He leads the way as soon as he finishes his lunch. He insists on showing us something and takes us to the farming tent. He wanted to show off the scenery from the place. Tabuli recently became more accessible to the rest of the world thanks to the Chadarak Road constructed by Techeon City.
요 배 내려오는 데가 제일 이제 멋있는 데래.
How satisfying it must be for the villagers to have a lake on their doorstep. This is another remote area of Tanyang. It lies even deeper in the mountain valley than Tabuli. At a bit of a distance from the village is this bookstore called the Second-Hand Bookstore in the Woods. Raccoon dogs, water deer, and wild boars come by at night, and bats sleep in a corner by day. The owner of this building is a well-known second-hand bookstore owner from the 70s. It may be in the woods, but the books are sent off all over the country via the internet.
사실상 장사, 경제적으로 말씀드리면은 서울에 있으려면은 지금 뭐 10분의 1 정도 수준? 그 정도밖에 안 되지만은 그 외에 얻는 것이 더 많아요.
It took as long as 6 months to move 130,000 books here. What did the store owner get from all that trouble? Perhaps it was the dream of being alone, with only his books and the sounds of nature for company. He also built this somewhat ramshackle building himself. Sometimes his proximity to nature brings him unexpected guests.
새끼 몇 마리 있어요, 선생님?
아, 지금 까나갔죠, 다.
아, 다 까나갔어요?
네, 까나가고 이제 있는 흔적만 있죠.
Baby birds hatched in a nest built between books.
처음에 와가지고는 좀 황당하더라고요. 이게 이런 데가 이런 놔두는데 이런 데 와서 딱 해놓으니까 이 책이 주문이 들어왔는데 보내야 되는데 이걸 못 보내니까 좀 그냥 없다고 그냥 그러고서네 말았죠.
The books may be old, but their contents are always new. Perhaps that's why Kumseok loves old books.
제가 올해 이제 환갑인데 앞으로 해봐야 뭐 20년? 하지만 이제 뭐 누가 하든지 어떻게든지 남을 거라고 생각하고 현재 있던 것이 놔두면 나중에 다 자료가 되고 이제 고서가 되고 그런 거 아니겠습니까? 뭐 그걸로 족한 거죠.
He has loved books since he was little. But back then, books were so scarce that he couldn't even imagine owning one. Now, 4 decades later, the young boy lives in a veritable Aladdin's cave of literary treasures. How could life be better than this? For some, books are what life is about. For others, these reeds have played that role. These everyday reeds have a special meaning for this couple. Dong-gyun has spent his whole life making traditional brooms which are now very hard to find. We came to see his traditional brooms at this workshop and museum located in Checheon City. The first thing related to traditional brooms that comes to mind is red sorghum. At one time, these brooms were a fixture in every Korean household. This kind of sorghum, with small grains and thick stalks, is generally considered to be of low quality. However, it is great material for making brooms to sweep the rooms of a house. The fact that it is used solely for broom making is what lends it its unique value. Reeds cut with a scythe before their flowers bloom also make excellent material for brooms. In making a broom, the reeds are first moistened in order to repel dust and then arranged in the proper formation. A bundle that is about the same thickness as an adult thumb is bound up with a millet stalk or bulrush using thread. It takes 2 hours to make a yard broom and 5 hours to make a broom for use inside the house. It is a very labor-intensive process.
전업으로 한 지가 이제 한 40, 다 하면 뭐 한 60년 되지. 초등학교 4학년 때서.
It's not very complicated, but it takes a lot of small touches.
나 저 반찬 하는 거 여기 저 떨어지네.
It's been 60 years since he learned this craft from his grandfather. What used to be firm fingertips keep getting scarred these days.
나이가 많아가지고요. 이거를 지금 빨리 전수시키지 않으면은 그러면은 그만 저는 그러니까 수십 가지 수백 가지를 만들 수가 있는데 빗자루. 그러니까 그만 그 기술이 그만 없어지는 거래요.
It's part of the couple's job to walk by the river in search of reeds that can be used to make brooms.
이것도 종자가 여러 가지래. 이게 짜장면 이렇잖아. 또 그런 거나 싫어하고. 이게 이제 산 갈 때가 있고 강 갈 때가 있고 그런데 강 갈 때도 종류가 이제 우리가 얼진 볼 때는 이런데 오래 아주 일찍 패는 게 있고요. 먼저 그 딱 한 군데 팼었어요. 여 말고 저기 저 또랑에.
그 강 갈 때 훨씬 나아요. 산 갈 때보다는. 더 질기고 이게 물에서 컸기 때문에 산 갈 때는 물을 못 먹고 컸기 때문에 좀 억시어요. 부서져요.
Donggyun grew up by the banks of the Chucheon River in Gangwon Province, which is also a rich source of reeds. The Chucheon River flows downstream and meets the Pyeongchang River to form the Seol River. This new river then flows on to join the Dong River, and the two form the Namhan River, which in turn flows on into Lake Chungju.
한 3일씩 뭐 5일씩 이렇게 뽑았어요. 밤엔 조용한 게 아주 무서워요. 그물 쳐놓고 고기도 잡고 아침으로 건지서 또 따개고 참참이 또 이거 뽑고 이래서 휴가 삼아 와서 그래. 휴가 삼아 여름 휴가 삼아.
As hard as it is to be the guardians of tradition in the face of ever-flowing time, this couple comes out to work and enjoy a little picnic. The waters that flow into Lake Chungju seem to be giving the old couple a gift more valuable than just reeds.